How's everybody doing today? I hope good. I'm really getting sick and tired of hearing this word science or scientific community. It's like science, when people say this word nowadays, they use it out of context. Given they've been, hearing it spoken out of context their whole life, it doesn't mean that it's right. It's like just because you hear it spoken in a certain way your whole life doesn't mean that that's right. And it's not right. And I'll explain how it's not right. When people say, man, it's science, bro. What are you talking? Dude, it's science. All they're really saying is, dude, that's someone's observation and testing, man. Like, how can you not believe that? I mean, it's someone's observation and testing. That's what they're really saying. What they think they're saying is that it's eternal truth, unarguable, non-debatable truth when they say it. But see, they're so brainwashed that they don't even use the word that creates their reality right. Like the word science creates their reality, because anything that goes against what the quote-unquote scientific community says is wrong. So therefore everything, that they do say is right. So yes, it creates their reality. And they don't even know how to use the word right. So it's like they don't understand how structure works. They don't understand how, scientific community, all that is people who agree with each other or go along with lies in order to get positions that make money, or they don't understand that there's so many scientists that go directly against what they call the scientific community says is reality. There's a lot of them, but they don't get the platform. They don't get the exposure that the people who, agree with the mainstream shit do. So they think that there's a consensus, just a 100% consensus, because everybody in the scientific community agrees. They don't understand that's just the controlled, the controlled people. The people who aren't controlled, who don't go along with lies, who don't agree with everything they're saying, they get ridiculed and, they get all kinds of backlash. They don't get the jobs in the universities. They don't get to be on TV, okay? So they don't understand how their information is controlled. And it's like the slaves have been convinced to reject truth and replace it with, lies. So they'll reject what, a lot of scientists are saying for the lies that the mainstream has been pushing and controlling. So there's no better way to keep people from truth than to get them to ridicule and make fun of it. There's no better way to hide truth than to convince people that the truth is primitive thinking and stupid and illogical. As they're taught that water spinning around, flowing around a spinning ball at 1,000 miles an hour is logical, but living on a flat surface is totally absurd. This is the level of brainwash that has been instilled in these people. They've never seen water surface bend, but they take it on faith that it does because they've seen it in a picture. And it's just so ironic, because if I said that there were, that there were half man, half eagle beings flying in the sky and showed them a picture, they would laugh me out of town, because a picture is proof of nothing nowadays. Never really was, but especially nowadays. It's like they fight to defend things that make no sense, but then laugh at things that make total sense. So spinning around on a rock that's flying through an infinite vacuum of space, where they have all these so-called measurements of how far things are billions of miles away, that's legit. But saying that you need to actually go the distance you claim to know with some type of tool for it to actually be measured, that's insane. That's totally insane. You don't believe that we can measure things billions of miles away? Dude, you are just like scientifically illiterate, man. These people will believe anything. Like I said, the slave class has been convinced that everything coming out of this controlled scientific community is undebatable, irrefutable facts. And they couldn't be more wrong. I wish they would snap out of it. But I'm afraid not everyone has the mental strength to come to a conclusion that the mass majority hasn't come to yet. Their thoughts are dependent on others. So, in other words, if the scientific community was telling them that they have 6 hands, okay? And I'm sitting here telling them that they have 2 hands. They would laugh me out of town because the scientific community says they have 6 hands, and I am not I didn't study anatomy, so, I don't have the credentials to say that, we have 2 hands. These guys studied it, man. So, I'm gonna go with them. We have 6 hands. They literally would, that's what they'd be telling you. Well, actually, scientifically speaking, we have 6 hands because blah, 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 in this equation, it's like, I don't know. These people, they profess themselves to be wise and became fools. The people who are professing themselves to be, smart, scientific, educated, they're the ones actually holding us back because it's their ego and, their refusal to even look into the proofs that other scientists are trying to provide them. It's their refusal to acknowledge reality, to say that condensation expands into a haze and covers the entire region. It's things like that are keeping us back, that are gonna, you know what I mean? And that's how I know that there's no fighting this. There's no combating this. We are speeding towards the end, and there's no stopping it. The only thing you can do now is save your soul. And that's the only reason why I say the things that I say and try to talk to people about the things that I talk about. It isn't because I think I'm going to stop something. It's not because I think that, I have a chance to put an end to anything or help put an end to anything. It's going to happen. This country's done. It's gotten to the point of, this country's actually done wrong with their willful ignorance. So this country is going to pay the price for ignoring the evil that they fund. Ignoring the fact that our military has killed millions of innocent children based on a lie. Ignoring that our skies are being sprayed with toxic metals every day. Just ignoring it, willful ignorance, that's a crime. So now it's beyond us, being deceived and it being not our fault. No, it's our fault now because we've ignored all these evils. We've trespassed at this point, so yes, we're going to pay for it. So the only thing you can do is buckle up, recognize what's happening, recognize you have a soul that needs saving, come to Christ, and hope that He, forgives your sins so you can make it into the higher realm, God's kingdom. God bless.